When you think of a C-section, what's the first image that pops into your head? Probably a bright, sterile, kind of intimidating operating room, right? A purely surgical event. But what if it could be different? What if it could actually be a calm, intimate, family-focused experience? Well, that's what we're going to dive into today. We're going to look at an approach that completely flips the script on what a cesarean birth can be. So that's the big question, isn't it? What actually makes a C-section gentle? To find out, we're going to follow one family's story and see how a whole bunch of small, deliberate choices can turn a major surgery into this incredibly personal, powerful moment. All right, so you might think the story starts with the surgery itself, but it actually begins way before that. The whole vibe, the whole tone for the birth is set right here, in these moments of preparation. This is where it goes from being just a standard procedure to a truly personalized experience. I mean, listen to that. Right away, you hear this warmth from the surgeon, just that simple little reassurance during what's a pretty routine safety check. Well, it tells you everything. It shows that this isn't just about ticking boxes. It's about making the patient, Jody, feel safe, comfortable, and totally heard from the get-go. Okay, so every single surgery has a safety checklist. That's standard stuff. But look closer. Look at that third step. Right there, next to confirming the patient's name in the procedure, the team explicitly confirms her personal requests. Her wishes are put on the exact same level of importance as all the clinical safety stuff. That's huge. So what is this thing, a gentle caesarean? It's not really one single new surgical trick. It's more of a philosophy, you know? It's all about creating a chill atmosphere, giving the parents real choices, and making that immediate, super critical family bond the top priority. This sounds so small, doesn't it? But think about what it does. Suddenly, the room isn't just full of faceless people in scrubs. It's Andy, it's Anna, it's Chris. It becomes a team of actual people working with Jody and her husband, Mark. It's a tiny act that builds this massive foundation of trust. Okay, so the stage is set. Let's move on to the delivery itself, because this is where you can really see that philosophy in action. This is where the whole atmosphere shifts from a sterile surgical theater to a real birthing space. Again, such a simple change, but what a massive impact. Just dimming those super bright overhead lights, it instantly softens the whole room. It makes it feel way less clinical and a lot more serene for everybody, especially for the baby who's about to make their entrance into the world. You know, in a lot of C-sections, there's this big blue curtain that blocks the mom's view of everything. But here, they offer a mirror, and that is a powerful, powerful choice. It totally transforms Jody from being a passive patient on a table into an active witness to her own child's birth. She gets to see it happen. You can just feel the anticipation in the room with those words. The surgeon is literally narrating the birth for Jody as she watches, connecting her directly to what's happening just on the other side of the screen. And this, right here, this is the real game changer. Instead of just quickly pulling the baby out, Dr. Sim brings the baby's head to the opening, and then he just waits. He lets the baby's own body emerge slowly, kind of at its own pace. It actually mimics the natural process of a vaginal birth. It's incredible. It's this unhurried, calm pace that's really the heart of the gentle part of this whole thing. It's just a quiet, respectful moment that gives the baby a much calmer transition from the womb into the world. And there you have it. That's the emotional peak right there. You hear a team member say that, and it just captures this raw, beautiful emotion in the room. This isn't just a successful procedure anymore. It's a family being created, and literally everyone in that room is sharing in that moment of joy. So the baby's here, but the gentle approach doesn't stop. Not at all. Now we move into what are often called the golden minutes, where that focus on bonding and the baby's well-being continues in a few really important ways. Before anything else, before the weighing, before the checks, the baby goes right where it belongs, straight onto mom's chest. This immediate skin-to-skin contact, even with the umbilical cord still attached, is so important for helping the baby regulate its temperature and heartbeat, and for kicking off that essential bonding process. And for about 2 minutes, the team just waits. This is called delayed cord clamping. And by waiting, they're letting all that oxygen-rich blood from the placenta keep flowing to the baby, which has tons of health benefits. And look at this, another really powerful, inclusive moment. The father, Mark, is invited to be a part of it in a real hands-on way. In a setting that can sometimes make partners feel like they're on the sidelines, this simple question makes him a central part of his child's birth story. So let's circle all the way back to that first question. What makes a C-section gentle? Well, as you can see, it's not one big thing. It's a whole lot of little things. It's swapping bright lights for dim ones. It's trading a screen for a mirror. It's choosing a slow, baby-led emergence over a quick extraction, and prioritizing immediate skin-to-skin contact and delayed cord clamping. It's really just a shift in focus from pure medical efficiency to the human experience. And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought. The principles we saw today, communication, choice, a focus on the person, they don't just apply to childbirth. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other parts of medicine could be totally transformed just by asking the patient, hey, what would make this experience better